5 തലമുറകളായി നിങ്ങൾക്കൊപ്പം PRS Hospital.
Good afternoon, sir. Dr. Srikumar Chattopadhyay worked as a senior scientist and HOD in Resource Analysis Division and in Center for Health Studies, now the National Center for Health Studies. Then lot of experience in PhD holder, then publishing lot of books in English. Then now you are in CADE as a senior consultant in CADE, a knowledge sharing program of Kerala government. Welcome you, sir, for our Subhashitham channel. First of all, let me know our viewers or our people. What are the issues and scope and development of geography in Kerala? Because as you are a senior geographer, what is your observation and opinion about the development and scope and the issues of geography in Kerala?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Subhashitham for inviting me to speak few words on geography. In fact, it's very interesting in the sense, the way back when 79, I came to Kerala and started looking into what is called the Kerala scenario, natural resources in Kerala. And that time we were actually working out a resource atlas of Kerala. So we have to look into different sort of studies which are available, different sorts of data which are available. And we are trying to work it out and compile the atlas, which is supposed to go for the planning. At the same time, we also have seen that in Kerala, in Trivandrum, only there is a undergraduate college. That is our government college. University college, where there is a graduation. There is no MA course. The first batch of graduate students who came from there, in fact, we engaged in CES to really do the data processing for resource atlas. That is our main thing. Afterwards, many of these people went to other places to take their higher degree, but a couple of people also continued with us. Now, this is a small introduction in the sense that when we came in Kerala, geography has not really taken deep root in the state. It is already just in the beginning. Now, all these years from 79 to 25 is almost like 46 years. I have seen not only growth of geography, but also how the geography is extremely important for the development of the state. Now, if we really start looking from the coast and go towards the highland, towards the Western Ghats, we can see that the relation between geography, land use, human settlement is very close. So close and so explicit that if we little bit tamper geography, immediately there is a problem. Like if we really try to explain the disasters which is happening in Kerala, whether it's a landslide, whether it's a flood, it has a lot to do with the geography. So, in fact, we have started talking up geographical vulnerability. That we talk about the vulnerability about, from the social science aspect, like economic vulnerability or the demographic vulnerability. We are also started talking on geographical vulnerability in the sense, when you look geography in a little bit narrow sense, like a physiography, you look into it. Your vegetation, you look into it. So these are all part, or river you look into it, these are all part of the geography. So it is becoming a vulnerable on that. I just quote, one of the UN, Kofi Annan, who was the UN Secretary General. He once told, devastated geography makes devastated people. If geography is devastated, then the people will be devastated. That's a sort of a thing and he has a close observation on Africa, and he was talking on that. Now, what is my experience? To tell you very frankly. Now, if you look into the Kerala, that traditional, the geographic divisions we have it, there's a different types of a land uses, different types of a settlement pattern, and infrastructure development, because normally it goes along the ridges. The valleys are left with the high amount of water which comes in order to accommodate. Now, when you fill up the valleys, so what happens where the water will go? In fact, I was talking with a different group of people that unless and until we have what is called that room for everybody, like room for river, room for wild animal, room for the forest, every ecosystem unit, it needs a room, like a room for the sea. Because sea, will be a sort of a fluctuation between the monsoon and non-monsoon season. In the monsoon season, the sea level will come up. In the non-monsoon, it goes down. So this, what is called the rhythm of sea, or its a wave, or the tide, if they don't have the space, then what will happen? If we really occupy that line, the water line, between the high water line and the low water line, then automatically during high water line it will be flood. Now, we have now several problems started with the many parts surrounding the Abhimanad Lake, where during the high water, high tide, the water enters into the settlements. That's a problem. So, geography is enveloping us from all around. Now, there are two issues to really look into. One, the type of technological development which has taken place in geography and the domain knowledge in geography. These two are very important at this juncture. Now, we all know remote sensing, GIS, GPS, this sort of a technology developed, which we talk about the geomatics. Technology empowers us that we can analyze the data through satellite data are captured. Using GIS, we synthesize the data, and also we try to develop, we can do in the modeling, we can predict. But if the domain knowledge is not there, then there is a problem. So technology should not be divorced from the domain knowledge. There's a science of it. The problem what has happened is, like say GIS and remote sensing technology are being taught, even non-geographers are coming on that. Like say engineers, they also get exposed and they get training, and they can also handle with the spatial data. But they will not be in a position to analyze them the way geographers do. Now, what is really geography? If we look into that from that point of view, it is a spatial relationship between the physical landscape and the cultural landscape. Now, when this relationship we try to understand, there are various forces and the drivers. Like say in the cultural landscape, there are several issues. In the physical landscape, there are several issues. So unless or until we understand their dynamics and try to put them together, there will be a problem. One of the very important thing in geography is to look into the both physical and the cultural world as a part of same system. And if you look into the sustainability science, which has now emerged precisely for that our knowledge is too differentiated, segmented in silos.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about the water management, if we don't talk about the land management, it cannot happen. Recently, the things being talked about the critical zone analysis, which includes from the tree canopy to the root zone. The entire thing they are talking about.
Integrated approach.
Integrated approach.
Yeah.
Holistic approach. That's the basic tenets in geography. That we try to understand the relationship with biophysical as well, or biotic and the abiotic world. If we forget that, if we think that, okay, with the GIS we just do some maps, or with remote sensing we do some analysis, or do some modeling, but we don't investigate the relationship which is inherent in it, there's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a one level of it. Second level of things are, as the knowledge has, knowledge generation has gone to many levels. So now we have to have a very interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. More importantly, transdisciplinary. So you have a social science, you have a physical science, and we try to look into the both. Because we are living in a change situation. So we try to talk human dimension of environmental change. So the change, if we were to capture, because that is the most important thing, and change is becoming very faster.
Okay.
Because with the technology development, change is becoming very faster. So we should understand the change. What are the drivers of the change? And where it is leading to the change. So these are the areas where technology use is extremely important.
Yeah.
But to understand the relationship is a domain knowledge which becomes important. As we create a different layer in GIS, so we can really study how the change is occurring, which is the direction, what is the trend of change, intensity of change. We can all do this one. But then it needs to be analyzed. The forces and the superstructure of what this is, because we talk about the social environment, economy, then the political system. Because that is also one of the important governing factors. Let's say we don't teach political geography at all. But political geography is becoming so important because the decision-making process is finally lies with the political system. That needs to be understood. So how really, with the today's challenges, how do we reframe the geography syllabus? And how really we put the traditional issues, traditional domain knowledge, and
Modern.
what is called the modern
Problems and
developments.
issues.
Yeah, and problems, how do you put it? So today's geography should be what is called the problem analysis. That to do the problem analysis, you need to have to go in many places. You have to get acquired knowledge from the different subjects, and you have to use the technology.
Medical geography also.
Medical geography, definitely. Say, disease ecology is extremely important.
Special ecology,
Yes. So the spatial distribution of diseases and how it is related.
Yeah.
That is very important. So that is one part of it. So the geography has a lot of scope, but we have to properly place it, which you are not doing. Second thing is, there is a overall general tendency in the society to look down upon the geographical explanation. They feel it is very simple. Fortunately, it is not so much among the administrators and the politicians in Kerala. They appreciate that geography has a role, but we geographers don't appreciate.
Not understand the importance and scope of
Not understand that. Although
dynamism of geography and the intensity of it.
And because one of the important interventions we started with the Panchayat resource mapping. After we make the Panchayat resource mapping, then the follow-up, how we map, those maps can be utilized for the planning. So when we try to evaluate that, we have seen it because common people at the Panchayat needs another level of a knowledge to interpret the map. Their geographers could not really come up. That, okay, these are the areas you can help. Okay, so that becomes one of the issue, which I feel a little bit of a lacuna from geographers' part of it, not from the other part of it.
I think the geography students and teachers and faculty and college teachers can intervene that part at local level.
At the local level. Wherever there is a college,
Yeah.
there is a panchayat, or there is a city, they can look into it. See, today, we are talking about the marine spatial plan.
Okay. Marine special plan.
Say, we know that entire, the marine sector is not uniform. Seabed is not uniform. Say, if you look into our things, you take from the Quilon to the south, the coast, which is more similar to the Tamil Nadu coast. And from the Quilon to the north, it is another segment. And in between, we have a soft coast, which is mainly with the recent sediments. So even our coast has a differentiation. Now, so the spatial plan for the marine area and the coastal area, that becomes important. Coastal zone management is not being talked now. It's being talked that marine spatial plan, marine and coastal spatial plan, that has to be introduced. I was very recently talking on that when you do a marine spatial plan, who knows the sea more than the fishermen? They go daily.
Yeah.
So how to put their wisdom,
Traditional knowledge.
Their knowledge, traditional knowledge with the modern knowledge and put it.
Integrated knowledge.
Integrated. So that's one other direction where geographers can work.
Yeah.
That will look into this one. Similarly, see, our settlement system in Kerala is entirely different. It is not like that in Tamil Nadu or in Maharashtra or in West Bengal. We have a spatially distributed.
Yeah.
And there is a rural-urban margin. So we need a special plan for the settlement, not separate plan for rural and urban area. It's a settlement plan we have to do. Geographers can intervene. They can really come forward. So geographers has to really look into from the other side, the problem side. That this is the issue coming up. How really we help the society to handle that
Okay.
and to reframe our syllabus on this. That is okay. Third thing is which I like to talk. Say in Kerala, we really lack a geography association. We have a national association for geographers in the Delhi. We have an association in Pune. We have an association in Tamil Nadu. Almost every state there is an association. So the association makes what the geographer. I tell you one very important example is, say in the school level in Tamil Nadu, one point of a time they thought they would not take geography. Then the geography association came forward. They started pushing the pressure. No, you cannot do that one. Now in Kerala, I will be requesting all the geographers to come forward and develop and form an association. Now we are actually 50 years of geography teaching in Kerala, 75 years from the B.Ed college.
Yeah.
So it is a very high time. And this is the also year, 100 years of geography in India. Because geography in India started in Aligarh Muslim University in 1924.
Yeah, okay. 100 years in India.
Yes, 100 years in India.
75 in Kerala, 50 Kerala, 100 in India.
Yeah.
So that's an apt time for a
It's a
geographer.
time for forming an association. So through this channel, I request all the geographers, all my fellow geographers, please come forward, form a channel. Form an association. Because the geographer has to speak somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
So that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.